Welcome back. In the last episode, I finished off with Melody Sauce generating some ideas for a melody kind of intro or theme, and I hadn't decided. Well, I did now. It's Keep 2, and it went like this. And just to be clear, as much as the song structure is finished, the mix hasn't started yet. All I've done is added an occasional reverb or a filter sweep or something like that, which I will render down for the final mixing because the AI tools won't be able to put those creative touches in on their own anyway. Okay, I think it's time we have a listen.
Trapped in a cage of my own making, but now I'm free to move on, and my heart is breaking. I'm free to move on to a brighter tomorrow. I'm leaving behind all the doubts and the sorrow. I see the world outside in front of open eyes. I feel the wind in my hair as I reach for the sky. I'm free to move on to a brighter tomorrow. I'm leaving behind all the doubts and the sorrow. I can't see past today or who I'm gonna be. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe this is me. I'm free to move on to a brighter tomorrow. I'm leaving behind all the doubts and the sorrow. I'm free to move on to a brighter tomorrow. I'm leaving behind all the doubts and the sorrow. And the sorrow.
And there it is. To be honest, I didn't actually think this experiment would turn out so well. I'm quite pleased with it so far. We still have work to do, obviously. No EQ or anything's been done really. So hopefully we'll only improve it. So the next step is to get a mix happening. Now to make it fair, I'm going to render all of these files down into simple stems so that every track is basically a complete thing, and any of the automation tricks that I used for filter changes and that will be rendered into it because that's part of the creative process. It's not really up to the AI mixing tools to sort out. Should be interesting. Okay, I've cleaned up the project and these are all rendered to audio now. So if something had a filter sweep in it, like these pads. They are now rendered in. Should make it easier for the mixing stage. But if you listen, you'll see or hear it's not mixed at all at the moment.
I'm free to move on to a brighter tomorrow.
No plugins, only the limiter and recorder for me recording the sound for this video. So the software I'm going to use to mix is called Monolith. And it's not AI per se. It has learned functions in that. It's more kind of like human intelligence that's programmed levels in that. And you have to enter a lot of information for it to function. But it is a time saver ultimately, especially if you make a template and kind of stick to that. I don't, so I'm going to have to do them one by one. And what you do is, you can see I've dropped one here on the kick track. You tell it it's a drum and that it's a kick drum. And you're done, sort of. I'm going to actually take the snare, the hi-hats, the crash, and the bass. And I'm going to link those together and add mix monoliths to each one. Okay. I'm also going to solo them all. Okay, and let's have a listen to what it's doing at the moment. Okay, it's not too bad because I guess I sort of had my levels set when I rendered them down, so they're already sort of mixed. They're not completely mixed, and in fact, you'll see what mix monolith is going to do in a second here. Let's tell the mix monoliths what they are doing. This one is the drum snare. I'm going to open as many as I can here so that they're all visible. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing this to illustrate. So kick, snare, overhead, hi-hat, synth, bass. And all you do is run your audio. In fact, you probably run the whole track, but I've only got all of these instruments during the course, so I'm going to loop that. Hit go, and then you say learn all. So what it's doing is assessing the levels of each of the channels. And then when I stop learning and hit mix, what it's going to do is bring them all into line what it thinks they should be. Okay. So it got a lot quieter, and the reason being is that you don't want to overload your mix bus, which you can add another one of these too as well, and I will eventually. The only other thing you can see going on here, which is kind of cool, is because it knows that this is a kick and a snare, it's side chained the other instruments to them. Now I don't need that on the overheads, and I don't need it on the hi-hats, but I'm going to leave it on the synth bass. And the synth bass is automatically set to only reduce by 3 dB, which is, to stop the doubling up of the volume of the bass and the kick drum, or the snare if it's playing at the same time. And there you go. So let's just give it a bit more gain. I think it's pretty good, the balance. Right, so I'm going to do all the other channels now. You don't have to sit through that, and we'll see what Mix Monolith does. Okay, so I've put Mix Monoliths on every channel, and you only need one open to actually run the whole sequence. So I'm going to run the track from beginning to end, and I'm going to learn all channels. Okay, it's finished. Let's just have a listen to the chorus. This is what Mix Monolith was learning from.
I'm free to move on to a
Right. Now for the big moment, I'm going to hit mix and we'll see what we get.
I'm free to move on to a brighter tomorrow. I'm leaving behind all the doubts and the sorrow. I see the world outside in front of.
Okay, I just remembered I didn't have that staccato bass channel in this. But for the moment, let's just have a quick look at how you make adjustments here. So obviously you can mix. I've set these up in post fader, which means that any changes I make by dropping plugins in or adjusting the levels, I'll be getting a new level going to the monolith. So I'll have to reanalyze that track or all the tracks once I've done that. But for the moment, if you just wanted to adjust, say, what was really quiet?
I'm free to move.
Okay, so like that lead sound here should be a little more featured. So what we do is we use the plane system, and basically it just jumps up. And same with the stabs.
I see the world. I see the.
So it's not perfect, but it's a good start. I'm going to spend some time refining it, and then what I'm going to do is save that project to then start using the actual AI plugins that are going to refine the mix, getting it ready before we master it with more AI plugins. Okay, should be interesting. We'll see you soon.